Hello everyone, welcome back to my channel and yet another video of teaching chords for beginners. So today we are in the key of E natural. So in the last video we did E flat, also known as D sharp, but I've referenced it as E flat on purpose. I'm excited to get into the key of E today. I really love this key. I love all the keys, but E is just different. I feel like every key is its own world, and rightfully so, because anything can happen in any key. You can go from one place to the next, from one key to another key, and they're all intertwined. They're all intertwined together. So let's go ahead and get into it today. So this is the key of E. Okay. So I am excited for this. So in the key of E, you have, with E is your 1. So E is your 1. Okay. F sharp is 2. G sharp is 3. A is 4. B is 5. C sharp is 6. D sharp is 7. And back to our 1. E is 8. 8 and our 1 is the same thing. Okay, so once again, I'm going to, actually before I get into the left hand, so if you're ever reading a piece of sheet music, you happen to come by the key of E, or you happen to see that the music is in the key of E. The key of E is comprised of 4 sharps, which is F sharp, G sharp, C sharp, and D sharp. So that's really pretty, by the way. So yeah, and then all the other keys are just the white keys. So we got sharps up top, F sharp, G sharp, C sharp, and D sharp in the key of E, and then everything else is just E and B. Oh, I'm sorry, E, B, and A. Okay, all right, so to begin, we are going to begin with our left hand once again. So these chords are also once again played without a bass player. You can play these with, in regards to the keyboard, you can play this with, like if you're on the organ, and then with your bass pedals on the floor. Also, if you do have a bass player who is present with you, and you're on organ, don't use the keyboard pedals on the floor at all, because you have a bass player present. He's going to take care of the lower end for you, and you don't have to worry about that. However, if you're by yourself, for example, multiple times before I've been by myself, well, not by myself, but just filling in for the lower end, you can just use use the foot pedals in that instance. But other than that, this is assuming we do have a bass player present. So to begin, we're going to implement our left hand. So this is what it should sound like. So we're going to begin on the 3. The 3 of E is G sharp. Okay, and then we're going to slide up to the 4. Okay, this is our up chord coming up next, or this is the diminished chord as well. Okay, and then our 5 chord. And then back to our 1 chord. This is the plain 1 chord. Okay, or I like to spice mine up, so I like to do an unresolved chord, or an unresolved 1, diminish, okay, and then slide it back up to the resolved 1. Okay, so once again, we're going to do our left hand. We're going to start on F sharp. So place your ring finger on your left hand on F sharp. This is going to be our 3. And then your thumb on C. Okay, and then also for as far as the finger placements are concerned, figure out which way is most comfortable for you as you're playing this. It took me a while to get used to the tritone finger placements, and once you find what's most comfortable for you, lock in with that so you can get faster and more efficient at playing your preaching chords. Well, honestly, anything for that matter, but in this instance, definitely lock in as soon as you can and as much as possible so you can be really flexible and that it could be second nature to you. So F sharp with your thumb, with your ring finger on your left hand and C on your right hand. Okay, so you're gonna slide both of those notes just up 1/2 step. This is our 3. So we're gonna slide up to the 4, or the 4 chord, which is the next tritone. Okay, and then which is your pinky is on G and your index finger is on C sharp. So that's an interesting stretch. It's not a weird stretch, but it's more interesting and it'll take some getting used to. Okay, and then you're gonna go to your 2 chord or up. Okay, so place your pinky on E natural or just E, and then your thumb, your index finger rather, on A sharp, which is also known as B flat. So A sharp. Okay, that's your up chord, which is also going to be built of your. It's going to be the diminished chord, and then slide down just 1/2 step to your ring finger on your left hand to D sharp, and your thumb on A natural. That's going to be your 5 chord. Okay, and then also to your resolve to the 1, which is your ring finger on I'm sorry, not your ring finger, your pinky on D and your index finger on G sharp. And then instead of also having D and G sharp, or D, instead of having D on the bottom and then G sharp on top, you can also switch those around. So a lot of times when I'm playing mine, I'll do like a diminished unresolved to the resolved, but for the sake of this video, a plain 1 chord would just be the 1, which is E, G sharp, which is the 3 of E, and then that tritone, which is D natural. Okay, and then also, so for the tritones, for those of you who are not exactly familiar with tritones help the music, in this case, help the preaching chords sound churchy and give it that extra spice, that extra flavor, that extra churchy, or I don't know the exact word for it, but it just helps spice up and make the preaching chords spicy. So your tritones are made up of the major 3 and the minor 7 of a chord. So for example, in the key of E, which is the chord I just played, the major 3 of E is G sharp. So from E to G sharp is 4/2 steps. So I'm gonna say E or start with E, but then you're gonna count up the next 4/2 steps, and then just 1/2 step is half steps are comprised of just one step, but a whole step is comprised of 2 half steps. So from E to F, that's 1/2 step. But if I go from E to F sharp, that's 2 half steps, because I had to start with E, but then I count F, and then F sharp is the second half step. So E, it's 2 half steps. So from E to G sharp, though, that's 4 half steps. So E, and then 1, 2, 3, 4. From E, 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay, E, 1, 2, 3, 4. And then from to get our tritone, think of the flat 7 or minor 7. Think of it as just going 2 half steps down. So from E, 2 half steps down. 1/2 step down is E flat, the D sharp, same thing. That's 1/2 step. That's 2 half steps, which is our minor 7. E, 1 half step, 2 half steps. Okay, so that's our tritone. And you can play these in any position. It doesn't have to be, G sharp on the bottom and D on the top. You can have D on the bottom, G sharp on the top. Okay. So we'll do that whole the tritones again. So starting with our 3, which is G sharp. So to begin, F sharp and C again, ring finger and pinky, slide up to the 4, pinky and C sharp, or pinky and index finger on G and C sharp respectively. Okay, up. So that's going to be E and A sharp, and your pinky and your index finger respectively. And then slide down or switch your ring finger and your thumb to D sharp and A respectively. It's going to be your 5 chord. And then your plain 1 is your tritone and in the key of your tritone and then the key of E. So I like to place my pinky on E, and then my middle finger on G sharp, and then my thumb on D natural. Okay, and then the unresolved one to the diminished to the resolved one is like that. It helps. It's a really nice chord. This is what it sounds like. Right. So this is unresolved. And then for that left hand though, you're gonna have your pinky still on E, and then you have that major 6 to the minor 7 pinch, like that C sharp to D pinch with your index finger and your thumb respectively. That's what it sounds like by itself. But when I put them all together, that's what it sounds like. So, and then C sharp and D with your index finger and your thumb respectively. Index on C sharp, your thumb on D. And then to go from C sharp and D to your diminished, index on A sharp, and then your thumb on C sharp, and then you slide them back down, go up 1/2 step actually. Go up 1/2 step to B with your index finger, and then D with your thumb. So unresolved, diminished, and then resolved. Okay. Or that's also diminished. So I got a root position diminished chord in my left hand, E, G, B flat, and or A sharp and C sharp, and then I resolved them to the 1. Same thing with my right hand, but my right hand was on the first inversion of the diminished 7th chord, which is what we're going to get into next. So our right hand. So to begin with the right hand, we want to implement our chordals concept. So when thinking of the chordals, like in the previous videos that we've done, that I've taught in, your chordals concept consists of perfect fourths. So think of like 4 chords. It takes 4 quarters to equal $1. But in the realm of music, though, it takes it takes a perfect fourth to make up a chordal, especially as far as a quartal chord is concerned. So that begins with our 2 of E, which is F sharp. But to get to our first fourth, we have to count up 5 half steps. So F sharp, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So that's our perfect fourth. And then also perfect fourths and perfect fifths, they're related, but it's the direction that you're going in. So since we're going up, it's going to be a perfect fourth. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. But if I were going down, it would be definitely more than 5. So F sharp, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. That's a perfect fifth. But we're going up, so we want the perfect fourth. Okay, so F sharp and B with your right thumb and your right index finger respectively. But to get from B to E natural, which is our 1, we want to count the same amount of half steps to get there. So B, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, which is E, which is also our 1. So place your thumb on F sharp, place your index finger on B, and then place your pinky on E. That's what it should sound like for your 3 chord, which is G sharp. Okay, so to get to our 4 chord though, so you're going to slide, you're going to keep your index finger where it is on B, but you're going to slide your thumb to G natural. And then to make that tritone in your right hand, use your middle finger to add that C sharp. So G with your thumb, index finger with B, your middle finger on C sharp, and your pinky still on the 1. And then to make that fully diminished chord, which is our up chord, and then also when referring to the up, like positioning or chord structure, that often indicates that we're playing a diminished chord. It's not limited to saying up, especially when you're giving directions in the talkback mic, but a lot of the times you're going to hear up, and that's going to indicate that you're playing a diminished chord. So this is our fully diminished chord. You can also play the 2 on this if you're on bass, or if you're doing the like the foot pedals on the organ. And then we want to incorporate our chordals chord for the 5 chord. Okay, so you're going to place your thumb on your thumb on A rather, your index finger on D. So A, let's count 5 steps up again to get to our perfect 4th. So A, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So your thumb on A, and then your index finger on D, and then your from D to G, that's also going to be 5 half steps. D, 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. Okay, so that's your 5 chord. Now we're going to resolve it. So let's go to the plain one, which is just a plain. Okay, so place your thumb on G sharp, your index finger on B, and then your ring finger on D for that tritone. And then your pinky is always going to be on the 1 a lot of times, for like seriously. Pinky is on the 1, which is E. That's your plain one. Or you could double up with your left hand. So both thumbs on E, both thumbs on G sharp, both your index finger on B, and then your thumb on D. But your middle finger on B, thumb on E in your right hand. Index finger has G sharp, middle finger has B, and then your what's it called? Your pinky on D. You could do that, but we want to emphasize the highest note. That's one not really a secret, but one ingredient that I've learned to incorporate over time is to keep that 1 in there at the top. So you could do your thumb on E, index on G sharp, middle finger on B, your ring finger on D, and then your pinky on the 1 still. Okay, that's the plain one. And then the unresolved to the diminished to the resolved one, this is how you're going to play it. So we're going to locate the 2 of E, which is F sharp. We're going to build a F sharp minor 7 chord. So find the 2 of E, which is F sharp. So two half steps needed. So E, 1, 2. And we need to count because it's going to be minor, we need one minor dyad. Di means two, by the way. Triad means three. So we need to get to A to make up the first part of this chord. So from F sharp to A, you're going to count three half steps. F sharp, 1, 2, 3. But from A to C sharp, that's going to be a major dyad. We don't want A to C because that's a diminished chord. That's a diminished triad. But we want a plain minor chord. So I need A to C sharp. So from A to C sharp, it's just 4 half steps. A, 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay, and then you want to play these with your thumb on F sharp, your index finger on A, and then your middle finger on C sharp, and then your pinky is going to be on E. But to get to E, we need another minor dyad. So F sharp, 1, 2, 3. So there's that. So that's going to be your unresolved chord in the key of E, going back to the 1. Okay, so this is unresolved. So now we're going to stay right here. Keep your pinky on E. Excuse me. So, and we're going to play a diminished chord next. So on your right hand, you're going to play a first position fully diminished 7th chord. And all that is going to be comprised of your diminished triad. So everything, actually not triads, dyads. So everything in the diminished chord is minor. All the dyads are minor. So G to A sharp, that's minor. So G, 1, 2, 3. From A sharp to C sharp, we need that to make another minor dyad. So A sharp, 1, 2, 3. And then we need one more minor dyad to get from C sharp to E. Once again, back to our 1. So C sharp, 1, 2, 3. And then we're going to resolve it to the 1. Okay, and then back to our thumb on G sharp, index finger on B, middle finger on C sharp, and ring finger on D, and then your pinky on E. Actually, you can omit your middle finger on C sharp. So G sharp on thumb on G sharp, index finger on B, ring finger on D, and then your pinky on E. There we go. So all together, this is what it sounds like. So that's what it all sounds like when you put them all together. So, but yeah, that is it for the key of E as far as the beginner preaching chords are concerned. Thank you guys so much for watching this video. I really appreciate your support. If you're watching this on YouTube, thank you so much for just supporting me, for subscribing. If you're unsubscribed and you have not subscribed yet, please join the family. Please join, please like, please subscribe, please share, please comment down below for more, just more information, more insight, just more learning and more music theory and why things are the way they are musically. I would love to answer your questions. I would love to just chat with you guys in the comment section. Thank you so much for watching. If you're in the like Instagram, Facebook arena, thank you so much for watching as well. Even TikTok, thank you guys so much for watching. Please follow, like, share, all the beautiful things, comment. And if you guys have any questions about anything that I went over in this video, in any of the previous videos, definitely, just ask me. Definitely drop a comment down below. And all of the other, I have this, like this just row of going up chromatically for all the preaching chords. It's in the link in my bio if you're watching this on social media. But if you're on YouTube, they're under my videos. You can go and you can watch them. And then I do have there's a part 2 of preaching chords that I did. That's in the key of G. So I'm going to make sure I take care of that. Those are going to be in the key of G. You can also watch those as well, which is really fun. So that's really fun as well. Um, but yeah, thank you guys so much again for watching. Thank you for the support. It really, really, really means a lot, and I really do appreciate it. Appreciate it. And I will see you guys in the next video. Thank you so much.